Google Maps is a very interesting place. I get there by going to my Gmail page and clicking over here at the various apps that Google has, and then clicking Maps. And when I arrive, I am very close to my home, which is right here. See that little marker right there? That's my home. One of the things I can do here is change from a map view to a satellite view by clicking down here where it says Earth in the lower left. When I do that, I get a satellite view of the whole area around where I live. Here's the stadium, for example. Here's the Route 8 freeway heading off to points east. Here's the 15, and here's the 805. Let's just go look more closely at my area by coming over here and clicking the Zoom plus button. Once again, here's my house right there. If I want to look at that house, I can grab this little man down here where it says Browse Street View Images, and I can drag him up to a blue line, which means that's a street that has been mapped by Google Street View. And if I let go, when the little man's little circle just below him is sitting on that blue street, a picture of my street will come up right next to my house. I have another mini seminar talking about what you can do while you're here in Street View. You can move down the street, you can turn around and look in both directions. It's all covered in about a 10-minute video, number C22, called Google Street View, in my list of Hank's mini seminars. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to show you some of the other really interesting things you can do with Google Maps. If you get out of the Street View, by clicking the Zoom Out, you find yourself back in a satellite view, a very close-up satellite view of the neighborhood. Here's my house with the little home symbol sitting right on top of it. You can do all sorts of things with this view. You can grab it and drag it to go look at other parts of the neighborhood. You can, my house is in a or my whole complex, it's a planned unit development complex, was built in a ravine. And they cut off the edge of this ravine here and built a whole bunch of units, some 135 of them. And it's an interesting thing to look at a place like this complex, which is in such a steep area. This is a plateau up above it. And if you grab this area and hold down the control key and move, it will tilt the whole area so that you can see what it would look like if you were in a little drone flying over this area. Let me show you that in another place like the stadium. I'm going to hold the control key down again and drag toward me using my mouse. And now I'm going to go up across the next ridge. Excuse me, this is across my condo complex, then across the next ridge, then down to the freeway. Now I'm going to zoom out a bit. And I'm going to go over to the stadium, zoom in, and then hold the control key down and tilt so that I can actually look around in the stadium from any direction. I find that just fascinating. Going back to my house here, when you live in a very hilly area, or when you're looking at a very hilly area, the 3D rotation can be absolutely fascinating. You see, as I'm rotating this, you can see the trees in front of my house sticking up and hiding it. And as I go up further, you can see the houses on the next mesa coming up and hiding the entire neighborhood. I don't know how Google managed to do this and get this three-dimensional view with such detail. I have looked at the actual trees around in my neighborhood, and these are all located in the right place. I don't understand it, but I sure do enjoy it. Now, coming back to the more conventional things that you can do with Google Maps, let's go back to the regular old satellite view and zoom out, and then go back to the map view. And here we are. There's my house, and there's the stadium. And supposing I want to find a place, I have been to this address of mine so often that it's here and listed, and I gave it a name as home. And supposing I want to know how to get from there to somewhere else. Well, here I am at 4380 Caminito Pintoresco, and if I click directions while that address is up, I will get a place to put someplace else. And I can swap back and forth so that I can go from this someplace else to my house, or from my house to someplace else. If I swap the two, now I have my house here. And supposing I want to go to the Wesley Palms Retirement Community on Loring Street, it comes up just after I type Wesley. If I now put that there, the map immediately zooms out and I get to choose 2 or 3 different ways to get from my home here to the Wesley Palms retirement community. Google picks one of them. I think it's either the shortest or the quickest. That's this one via I-8 West. It's 19 minutes and 12.2 miles. Or I could go via 52, which would mean come over here and get on, instead of getting in my house and getting on 8 by going, I have to go back here to get on 8 and then come up there where the blue line is. I would go where this gray line is and come up 15 to 52 and then come down and go up through the residential area below Wesley Palms and east of Wesley Palms and get to Wesley Palms. Or I could go via 805 North. I'm going to click the via 8 West, which is the shortest, and it will give me detailed directions and details in details. And I can print those here. I can share them with other people here. And I can print the directions and the map somewhere in here. If I get out of the directions mode here by clicking first back and then clicking the close directions, and I am back to just listing my house, I can go down here to, well, I can share it, and I can send it to my phone, I can save it, or I can come down here and click nearby, and I can either go to restaurants nearby, hotels nearby, bars and pubs nearby, or maybe I could just say, haven't tried this, but we'll see, pizza. I get a choice of a Pizza Hut on Garnett Avenue, or Pizza Hut, or just plain, let's just try pizza. And search, and look at all the places where there is pizza, and it shows them to me on a map near my home area. That's pretty useful. If I pick one of these, let's say the one that's pretty near my house, the Haven Pizzeria, right over here, and I click on that, it will bring the place up. It will offer me directions again to or from that place. It will tell me the address, the website. I can click here and go to the pizza's website where I might find its menu, its telephone number, tells me whether it's open or closed right now. I'm recording this at 9:30 in the morning, and it doesn't open for another 2 hours. I'm going to have to wait for my pizza. And it'll even tell me the popular times on Tuesdays, it is Tuesday today, when this place is heavily used. It is amazing what Google knows about you, your neighborhood, your nearby pizza places, and all sorts of other things. Now, I could go on and on about what you can do on Google Maps, but it's probably more productive for you to learn all the different things that you could do on Google Maps in just one click, maybe two, and try them yourself. And the way to do that, of course, is to go up to your Google search box and type in, "What can I do on Google Maps?" And when you do, and click there, you get all these answers. 23 Google Map tricks you need to try. Google Maps, 50 things you didn't know you could do. Top 10 things you didn't know Google Maps could do on Lifehacker. You can spend a whole day here if you want and try out some of the things that you might find interesting that I might not. Have fun.